Hello, and welcome to yet another edition of Finishing Crafts I Started instead of starting new ones and or spending more money on craft supplies, money and space that I do not have. So, one of my hobbies, cross stitch. I have multiple projects that I haven't finished. I'm gonna show you first the behemoth that I've been working on. This, oh, you can kind of see it, is a skull. I have some other cross-stitch skulls that I've made. I think I'm going to pop them up so that you can see what they look like, and I'm really happy with them. So when I saw this pattern of a skull that's blooming in cherry blossoms, I was like, this is sick. I need to make it. I don't think I've touched this project in like 3 years. So you can see here I've started the jaw. This is like I think that's the nose, and it's sort of going, and then this is like the carotid artery basically coming down here. And I do like how it looks, but it's massive. I think I've put probably at least 100 hours into it already. And I have a spreadsheet. The pattern is 18 PDF pages long. I have a spreadsheet of color by PDF page to mark what I've finished and what I haven't. And I think there's like 40 different thread colors in here, so including like 15 different shades of beige. So it's a nightmare. I'm not ready. I'm not ready yet. It's not happening right now. What I did touch a little bit is this tiny Mount Fuji one. There's not a lot left that I need to do for this one, so this is probably something that I will document finishing. It actually will have like a little stamp border, and I also need to add a little bit of branching into the sakura, and I think a few like small highlights, just like some back stitching for that. And the needles here, I worked on it a little bit, so this I will finish, and I'll probably film a little time lapse of that. We'll see. But I had a project that I started that I was really, really happy with. I keep seeing these on Pinterest. They're reposted a million times, and they're just like little pixel art that I think are intended for like bead making. But I'm like, this is perfect for a little cross stitch project. I'm gonna do that. So I did this, and well, I adapted one of them for a little cross stitch. And the brown cat is specifically, I changed him a little so that he looks like my friend Magali's cat. Because I was like, this will be a really cute keychain. And then I started this back in August, and I told my friend that I was doing this. And we're now April. I wanted to finish it for her birthday a few months ago, and I just straight up didn't, and I didn't mention it. Worst part is she knows I've been working on it, so it got very abandoned. I'm like, no, I need to finish it. So a few days ago, I finished the stitching. I finished the name, the border, and I realized I've really not left a lot of room. And also I'm thinking, how do I make this into a cute keychain other than folding it? So what I think I'm going to do today is very gently glue along here just to reinforce all the stitching, and glue just inside the border. And then I think I'm going to fold and sew across until about here. Yeah, here, so that's the left corner. And then here I want to find a piece of ribbon or something that I can put to create a little loop. And there's a used craft supplies store in the neighborhood, so I think I'm gonna take a little adventure and go there. But first I'm gonna get this prepped. So the glue gun has been heating while we were talking. It has a bunch of bits of glue from when I last used this on the little model I was working on. So yeah, let's glue this. Alrighty, so I documented some failures. Not sure how I feel about the glue, because now I fucked up and accidentally cut off part of the border down here. Don't love that for me. Do not love that for me. I'm like, do I glue it back? Because basically I started doing this little, I always forget what it's called, like when you have a line every other stitch, what you see in the brown here. And I wasn't happy with it, so then I started doing a whip stitch, and then I'm like, oh, I don't like that. And then I'm like, you know what, the glue's holding pretty well. And I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna trim. But I forgot that the border goes slightly more here. So I'm just gonna keep trimming. And what happens, happens. I actually don't hate that. Because since I glued it first, and I knew this was a risk, but since I glued it first, getting the needle through is obviously a pain. But so now I'm debating what to do. Because I would still like to give it to my friend. I'd still like to trim it a little more. But I actually think the glue's holding way better than I expected it to. So we're currently in trimming, even though I'm like, anything I trim off can't go back on. Because that's how it works. I've committed to this mistake, so now we're here. Worse things have happened. And better things have also happened, but worse things have happened. Yeah, so that's the issue, is now it looks very not lovely because this has too much of a white border, and then because it's off by 1 square. It's off by 1 square. But I'm thinking what might be nice is to like put it inside, like leather or something, to like give it a separate container. So I'm now giving myself more work, but I do think I'm just gonna glue this. And this is we call this a learning opportunity. This is one of those moments where I wish Control Z was a real thing in real life, but it's not. And this is also one of those moments where I'm like, am I making it worse by trying to make it better? Okay, as unhinged as it sounds, I'm genuinely considering sticking the rest of the border back on. But I'm looking at it and it's like, no, it's so frayed. Okay, I've broken it, so I can't. I've saved myself from myself. There we go, I had it upside down. Okay, it's still super cute, so I'm gonna reassure myself. It's still super cute. And I think I can just add a border to it. So I think I'm gonna go and find like a nice scrap of fabric that I can put all around. Because I think one thing that's bothering me also is that there's no border down here. So ideally I want to like insert it into something. So I want to find like a nice brown piece of fabric and put this all around, have the fabric be its little border and be a little tab, so I can turn this into, successfully turn it into a keychain. But I've learned a lot. If I were to redo what I just did in the last half hour, I would first fold it over and start by sewing corner to corner to make sure I'm not off by 1, so that this annoying border thing didn't happen. Then I would seam up 1, glue a little, seam more, glue a little, seam more, glue a little. Would I leave the frayed edge? I don't know. This is my first time making this. I want to make it for a few more friends. So those are other projects, and I need to find the right design for that and adapt it for cross stitch also. So that's going to take some time. Yeah, I got distracted by my mess. I still don't hate it, and I also don't think she's gonna hate it. And I did still leave a gap here in case I want to insert something in here to create the better loop. So I'm gonna see what the used craft store has, or any other scraps I can find around the house, ideally. But I think this is still gonna end up cute. I went to a little used craft store, and for $1.80 I got 8 of these little rings. That was the 80 cents. And the dollar was on this tiny scrap of fabric that's really adorable. And I'm debating whether I want to make it into a border for this or just have it. Right now I'm afraid. I'm just straight up afraid. Because, yeah, I cut off too much of those. But it's also kind of cute, kind of jagged. So next step is I'm going to trust the glue gun and believe in it to seal this in here. And I wanted to just get that on film, get my really focused, terrified focused face on film. I also filmed about 15 minutes of process, which was really fun, and it included my cat attacking me while I was doing some stitching, and really cute cat shots, but because my disc was full, none of the video saved. I didn't realize that my disc was that full, and that's the problem with video stuff. So I'm currently also just transferring files to my external hard drive, doing all that kind of stuff. Okay, I'm afraid. Like, I think I do want to put the fabric in here as well. Give it a little border. But the issue with putting the border is, okay, I need to like fold it so that it doesn't look scraggly. And that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. Cut it, fold it, make it look decent. I'm afraid. Oh, look, it begins. Okay, this is already super cute though, and is probably a decent way of doing it. So if I'd actually sewn the border properly, if I'd had enough space, and I could have sewn it around the ring too, and I wouldn't need to have done glue. Glue was a bad idea. I felt like glue was a bad idea, but I just love the glue gun. I don't usually get to use the glue gun. I don't usually have reason to, so I was like, let's use the glue gun. But mistakes were made. I say as I reapply the glue gun. I love the little filaments. Okay. Alrighty. Everything's gonna be alright. It's just a little dab of glue. The girl in the used craft supplies store, again, best concept ever, used craft supplies store. Everything's cheap and they take donations because some of us have a lot of craft supplies. So now I have somewhere good to put them. I think I do want to try to give it the red trim. I think it would be really cute and would go with these mushrooms really well. I'm really scared. I'm genuinely so scared, because what I'm thinking is I'll just take a really, really thin strip and then like fold it over twice so that the fold, so that it's not the edge of the fabric, but it's the fold of the fabric comes right here. Basically, I think I just want to create a little tube of fabric. Yeah, there it is. A tube of fabric, and just put it so that it's literally gonna be just stuck on the very, very bottom. I can't even show what I want to do, but it's gonna happen. I'm gonna stop filming because I'm terrified of what's happening with like my disk space. I'm gonna stop filming because I'm like terrified of what's happening with my computer disk space right now. Also, my hair is disgusting. I'm gonna oil it because that's the best time to put rosemary oil in your hair is when there's a lot of natural oil in your hair. That's what I learned. That's why I had a hat on earlier, because my hair was gross, but yeah, living la vida loca over here. Good morning, good afternoon, and everything in between. I just wanted to give you the world's smallest reading update. It's early April 2026 right now, and I've been in a reading slump probably since about January 2025. I've slowly been coming out of it. Like, it comes and goes, but I definitely still feel slumpy. I definitely still feel slumpy. So I decided to read Mr. Stephen King. Mostly because Stephen King's very easy to read. That said, I am about 85% done this book. Everything's eventual. I did not care for the titular story. I actually didn't care for most of the stories. I kind of liked the Dark Tower one, which surprised me, given that I have never read any of the Dark Tower ones, but I thought the writing was cool. But last night I really spooked myself with 1408. I think I also went into it knowing that it would be interesting, notably because it was adapted for film or TV or whatever. I remember seeing it come by on Netflix. It was really creepy. I think I have 6 minutes of that story left, and I fell asleep reading it, but fell asleep really scared, and I have this recurring nightmare of this very specific house. I should probably build it on The Sims or something. But lately I've had very recurring house nightmare dreams, which is another indicator that I should give House of Leaves another chance. So that's fun. But yeah, I'm almost done this one and I'm like, oh my god, I'll be free. And I'm really looking forward to it because I think I need to be free of Mr. Stephen King. I say that because at the same time, I was like, I want a nice. Accidentally opened a reel there. I say that because, like, I was also like, ooh, I want a nice long audiobook. And I went into my horror books and I was like, you know what? I liked Nosferatu. I thought it was fun. So now I'm listening to The Fireman. And I really liked the first third or so of this one. So while the Stephen King is just like different kind of horror slash dark stories, The Fireman's book, written by Mr. Joe Hill, aka Stephen's son, who uses a pen name, but we all know because he's open about it. So Joe Hill's The Fireman. I'll just put it up here so I don't have to keep referencing it. This is a post-apocalyptic novel, and it's really fun. The plague that has ruined the world is basically a mushroom spore that leads people to spontaneously combust. And our main character is a nurse with a terrible husband, and she's recruited into the secret rogue society that is living their own little camp in harmony with the spore. And instead of spontaneously combusting, they've befriended the spore, and now it allows them to glow, and they form a weird religion around it. And they get very culty and weird, and also the government's after them because the government's trying to kill anyone who is infected to contain the infection, because basically the entire world has burned. So it's not a real government, it's like a pseudo-government militia, which includes our main character's husband. So that's about it. It's narrated by Kate Mulgrew, who you may know as a fantastic character in Orange is the New Black. She also narrated Nosferatu, and I really did enjoy her narration, and I'm enjoying it in The Fireman as well. So those are really what I'm reading right now. Yeah, I'm not really feeling inspired lately. Otherwise, the things I read, I had to make sure I covered up my address. Try not to dox myself, is The New Scientist. I'm still getting my New Scientists every week, and I'm making collages with them. And this one's asking whether we all see the same red, which is fun. And we may be closer to mortality than we think, apparently. That's fun. Gems on Mars may make it the ruby red planet. Zombie cells, sensitive data. Okay, I quickly flipped some pages because I wanted to show you the real reason I get The New Scientist. I'm not denying it anymore. It's because I want to solve the crosswords. So every other week it's a cryptic crossword, and cryptic crosswords are the bane of my existence, and by that I mean I keep trying to do them and I'm terrible at them, but I keep trying nevertheless. I literally paid $8 for an app that had like 10 hours of content to teach you how to do cryptic crosswords. I did it all in a day a few years ago. I should probably do it again. And I kind of love it. I kind of love it, but I'm also really, really bad at them. I'm looking at these now and I'm like, I should absolutely not try to solve these on camera. But what if Coach puts sandwich back? I don't know. I don't know. Coach put sandwich back. Fit part of label on gauge. Okay, let's find out what Coach put sandwich back is. It's 12 across. Bus. Okay. Sub. Sub. A bus is a coach. A sandwich is a sub. Backwards, it's a bus. Okay, so yesterday I glued together one side and the other side of this keychain I've been working on for my friend, and I really messed up the edges. I messed them up so much that I went out, I got this key ring, which seems to be staying nicely, and I got this big fabric scrap that I'm thinking of putting around the edges because it really goes with the little mushrooms. So what I think I'm gonna do is try to cut it so that when I fold it really gently around it, it can... I have a vision. I have a feeling it's really not gonna work, but I have a vision and my God, am I gonna try. Let's rock and roll. I do also have this one, but I think I like this one more. This is, the red is a little too Lego red, and this red I think is a bit more like, actually goes with this. Yeah, people are probably yelling at me like, use fabric scissors. But I would if I could. So jagged. This is kind of the vision I have. Whoops. Everything was hot glue and everything hurt. Okay, Google, how to dissolve Gorilla Glue. I'm saving it with twine. It's actually coming out cute. A tale of struggle and redemption, I think. It's a very niche reference, but you know, Sufjan Stevens, when in Chicago, he sings, "I've made a lot of mistakes." That's how I felt working on this piece. But like, this is really not bad. And I do want to shape this a little more, just to give it more of a clear gap. I can like hear it crunching. Literally using my scissors to just press everything where it needs to be. So it becomes more of a gap. There we go. All right, listen. You can read Magali. You can see her cute bunny. And this has enough of a gap to be able to put something of a decent thickness through it. A lot of emotions. I experienced a lot of emotions making this. I think I need to go on a walk.